Are you a 2D VTuber that has been looking to improve the interactions on your stream? Maybe you have used some of the existing solutions, but they're very limited and don't really allow you to do what you're after. Or maybe you're having to run 5 different programs just to achieve a simple channel point redeem. Now, with VNyan's 1.7 release, you will be able to use VNyan to create basically anything your mind can conjure. Hi, it's your friendly neighborhood VTuber Sui here again with a new VNyan tutorial video. Today, I'm going to show you how to use VNyan's new overlay mode to add redeems for 2D streamers. Now for this mode, you will obviously still need to use VTube Studio for rendering your 2D avatar, but you will be able to create all the redeems in VNyan and have them actually affect your character in VTube Studio. So, shall we get started? Okay, so the first step to using VNyan with VTube Studio is that you want to obviously install VNyan and then launch it. When you launch VNyan the first time, it will give you this mode selection. Now, if you are a 2D streamer using VTube Studio, simply select the VTube Studio Overlay. Now, when you click this one, it will next ask you VTube Studio's API port. Now, before you click anything here, make sure you start VTube Studio, load up your avatar, and then we need to also enable the plugin API. So let's do that next. Okay, now that you have VTube Studio open, you will have to go to the settings. And in the settings, you will have to enable the plugin API and also configure its port. This one is configured here. Make sure that the Start API is on, and then pay attention to the port number here. In my case, it's saying 8001. So now in VNyan, we need to enter the same port number here. You will also want to make sure your firewall allows connections to VTube Studio. Now you click the connect button, like so. Now if you go to VTube Studio and there is no firewall blocking anything, you should see this dialog. Requesting access. Now you simply click allow, like so. And now these two applications should be connected. Now you can simply click OK. Now you will be able to use the startup wizard to also configure some default redeems for yourself, or you can skip this. Now during this tutorial, we will be skipping this, but you can connect it to Twitch or YouTube at this point. Anyway, once you are through the startup wizard, the first thing you should do is confirm that the connection is in fact working. The easy way to do this is to show the collision rig in VNyan. So click on the menu, click on the collision rig, and then show collision rig. This will show estimation of your current tracking rig. If you have tracking connected, you may already see some movement there. If you do not have tracking connected, you can also move your avatar around in VTube Studio to see the movement. So the next thing to confirm is that both VNyan and VTube Studio use the same resolution. One option, of course, is that you set the resolution that you have in VTube Studio. This you can see in the graphics settings under the quality and effects. There is the resolution. If you have set the resolution with this button, then these are the numbers you should also use in VNyan. Now we're using this resolution, so in VNyan we need to do this same thing. To do this in VNyan, we go again to the menu, then settings, and then graphics. In the graphics we have this window size. You simply enter the same numbers here as you have in VTube Studio. And then click the set window size. This will set VNyan to the exact same size. Now the next thing is that obviously you need to overlay VNyan's graphic on top of VTube Studio, and this is done inside OBS. Now to get the image to OBS, it is highly recommended you use Spout 2 instead of Game Capture. If you're using VTube Studio, you probably already are using Spout 2. In VNyan, this is also recommended. Simply go to the settings, output, and make sure you click this Use Spout 2. And now you should be able to find this Spout 2 source name inside OBS. Now to use Spout 2 in OBS, you need to install the Spout 2 plugin for OBS. If you haven't done that yet, there is a link in the description where you can download the plugin. Okay, so now that you are in OBS and you have a scene where you already have your VTube Studio avatar set up, simply add VNyan there. So we will be using Spout 2, so we simply select a Spout 2 capture. We're gonna add a new one, which is gonna be like so. And then from the sources, we select the VNyan spout. Then to the composite mode, let's just select the pre-multiplied alpha, like so. And now we resize it to the same size as the VTube Studio output. And now you should see the collision rig basically overlap with your avatar. Now you'll be able to fine-tune this, of course. If your avatar has, let's say, very big ears, then sometimes you may need to adjust the offsets in VNyan. If you do need to adjust the offsets, you can do that in the collision rig, simply by adjusting these slider values. Like so. Now, obviously, since we're using the estimation we get from VTube Studio, the collision rig will obviously not be pixel perfect, but most of the time when in use, it still performs really well. Once you are happy with your rig settings, simply click the Show Collision Rig, like so. And now it's hidden. And now you'll be able to test various kinds of redeems in VNyan. A very easy way to test things is to open up the node graph, add a channel point redeem, and then add a draw item redeem, like so. Simply connect them, add some items, add some number of items, add some seconds to wait after the objects are removed, and then you can simply signal the effect. Now, as you can see, the items look really small right now, so you probably want to increase their size a little bit. This can be done by increasing the scale. Just ramp it up and give it another try. And that's much better. Now, the size of the drawables will scale based on where your avatar is. If your avatar is small, like so, then the drawables will look smaller. Like so. I hope this tutorial was useful for you. As you can see, it is actually very easy to link VNyan and VTube Studio together in this manner. Now, there are, of course, a lot of features we're still planning on exploring, like potentially allowing you to use a 3D world with your 2D avatar. They simply did not make to the initial release of this feature. If you have any questions, you can join our Discord and ask them there. We have a very active community of VNyan users and VNyan professionals that are happy to answer any questions that may arise. Make also sure to check out all the other tutorial videos on my channel if you have any VNyan related questions. Anyway, see you next time, cuties. Bye bye.